Hello students, today I have come with the summary of Waiting for Godot, the play that is there in the syllabus. Now I'm trying to summarize the play. It is an absurd play by Samuel Beckett, Waiting for Godot. Now here the play is composed by Samuel Beckett. It begins with two men, Estragon and Vladimir. These are the names of the characters you will find in the play Waiting for Godot, standing alone on a deserted road, beside a withered tree. Means they were gathered there and they were waiting for somebody. They are waiting for Godot. Now they are waiting for whom? They are waiting for the character Godot to arrive. As they wait, they engage in various discussions and meet three other characters. So while waiting for Godot, who are the characters? Estragon and Vladimir. They were waiting for Godot, and in the course of waiting, they met with other three characters, but still by that time Godot has not arrived. Now two men, Estragon and Vladimir, also known as Gogo and Didi, means these are the names of Estragon, Gogo, Vladimir, Didi, meet close to a tree. Immediately they start conversing on multiple topics. Eventually it turns out that both of them are waiting for the arrival of a man by the name Godot. Means they don't know each other, both of them have come there, and both of them, while conversing, while talking, came to know that both of them have come there and waiting for the character Godot. Now, however, they cannot be certain if they have ever met Godot, if that is the correct waiting place, if it is the right day to wait, or whether Godot will come at all. So as they wait, Estragon and Vladimir pass time with various mundane activities and trivial conversations in between episodes of deep rumination. Rumination here, this drama has been divided in two acts, Act 1 and Act 2. So they, while conversing, and they trivial means petty things on small things, they are passing their time. So after some time, Lucky and Pozo arrive. Lucky and Pozo, two more characters. Pozo is heading to the marketplace to sell Lucky as a slave. So who is Pozo? Pozo is one character who is heading, means going towards the market to sell Lucky as a slave. For a short moment, he stops to have a conversation with Estragon and Vladimir. Meanwhile, Lucky provides entertainment by thinking and dancing. Shortly afterward, Lucky and Pozo leave. So what are the four main characters we met in Waiting for Godot? Estragon, Vladimir, Lucky and Pozo. After they have left, who left? Two characters, Lucky and Pozo. After they left, a boy arrives and informs Vladimir that Godot has sent them a message with him as the messenger. So he came with a message from Godot and he gave that message to Vladimir. He informs Vladimir and Estragon that Godot would not come that night, but he will certainly come the following day. Immediately, Vladimir proceeds to question the boy about Godot until the boy leaves. Estragon and Vladimir agree to leave, but they are still standing when the curtains falls. The following night means that day the boy came with the message that Godot will not come that day. He will come the following night, means the next night. So the following night again Estragon and Vladimir meet once again close to the tree to await the coming of Godot, the same place they came, and they were waiting for Godot. Pozo and Lucky enter for the second time. Again we see these two characters, Pozo and Lucky. However, this time Lucky is now dumb and Pozo is blind. Dumb cannot speak, and Pozo is blind, cannot see. Pozo cannot recall meeting Estragon and Vladimir the previous night. The two of them leave as Estragon and Vladimir keep waiting. So Estragon and Vladimir were waiting the next night also for Godot to come and meet. But next night also we see these two characters, Pozo and Lucky, and this night one has gone deaf, another blind. But then also they left and kept Vladimir and Estragon in the same place waiting for Godot. Moments later, means after some time, the boy arrives. Who is this boy? The messenger, the message he brought from Godot. So the boy arrives and again passes Godot's message to Vladimir. Just like the first time, he will not come to meet them. Vladimir then remarks that the boy had said the same thing before. The boy swears he never spoke to him the previous day. After the boy walks away, Vladimir and Estragon choose to leave. However, they remain at the same spot as the play ends. So finally, the next day also the boy came with a message that Godot is not going to come to meet them. So Vladimir questioned that you have said this the previous night also. So hearing this, the boy replied that he had not come the previous night. It is only this night that he came with the message from Godot that Godot is not coming to meet them. And with that, we see that Vladimir and Estragon, they chose to leave, and this is the last scene of the play. This play, Waiting for Godot, is a typical example of an absurd play, which means that Waiting for Godot describes a situation where they are waiting for something to happen, but it probably never happened. So therefore it is known as a typical example of the theatre of absurd. Now, what is the main theme of Waiting for Godot? One of the central themes of Waiting for Godot is the human condition as homeless tramps. Vladimir and Estragon represent those who have been left behind by society, the elderly, the poor, and the infirm, who feel as though they have been abandoned by God and doomed to live the life of misery and discontent. Now here we have also seen that Pozo and Lucky, those who are heading towards the marketplace, the next night when they met Vladimir and Estragon waiting for Godot, one has gone deaf, another blind. Now why? What does that represent? Means he chooses to be blind because it means he can stop thinking about time, and the same goes for Lucky, becoming mute. Mute means cannot speak. The only time Lucky speaks in the entire play is when Pozo commands him to speak. Now here another question comes, that who is the character Godot, whom he represents or symbolize? Now the Godot seems to be God, who is omnipresent. Omnipresent means a person who presents everywhere. We can feel his presence everywhere in the universe. That is omnipresent. A God without extension who exists outside the boundaries of time, which is therefore impossible for him to take physical form and exist at any given moment to interact with Vladimir and Estragon. So it refers to God. Now we have also seen in the play that they were waiting under a withered tree for Godot. Now what that tree signifies? So tree in the setting of Waiting for Godot represents the cross on which Jesus Christ was crucified. As such, it is argued that the tree stands as a symbol of hope in the play, because it means that the religious dimension is not completely absent. So here tree signifies the cross in which Jesus Christ had been crucified. Now another question arises, that why it is Waiting for Godot is an absurd play. It is an absurd play due to lack of characterization, We don't know past of the characters. They are not introduced to the audience. We only know their names and their miserable situation. We don't have a view of their characters, their representations, their work, from where they came, where they will go. Only the name of the characters, and the scene has been on their action that they were waiting for Godot, and that's why it is we can say Waiting for Godot is an absurd play because lack of characterization. Now when you will read the detailed study of this Waiting for Godot, Act 1 and Act 2, you will see there is the mention of boots. Now what the boots symbolize in Waiting for Godot? Now the boots are a symbol of daily struggling. Estragon is constantly affected by his boots, always taking them off and putting them on, but never makes a difference. Now finally we come to the main characters. How many characters we see in Waiting for Godot and what are their names? So there are 5 characters we can see: Estragon, Pozzo, Vladimir, Lucky and the boy. So these are the characters we met in the play Waiting for Godot.